Welcome to the Headley Highlight Show's Royal Corner. This week in the Royal Corner, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, launches online shop for fashion staples. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, releases podcast trailer for Confessions of a Female Founder. King Charles and side salad turned Queen Camilla, state visit to the Vatican postponed because the Pontiff is unwell, probably reaching closer to the right hand of God. Also in the Headley Highlight Show's Royal Corner, King Charles's Highgrove perfume scent launches second edition. Did you even know there was a first one? Prince William sends strong message from a tank near the Russian border. We're so thankful. He also found time, Prince William, to send a message to National Treasure Mary Berry. Also to Gene Hackman and Major Tom. I think it's a bit of a habit now. Kate Middleton, the indolent queen in waiting, signature style, apparently is inspired by the late Queen. Also in the Headley Highlight Show's Royal Corner, Prince Harry reportedly in talks for a Princess Diana documentary, but this is gossip from Yahoo News, so you can treat that with several grains of salt. And there's Sycophant of the Week. All this and more on the Headley Highlight Show's Royal Corner. Before I start, can I say a very big thank you to everybody who's been listening to my podcast. The Royal Corner is a feature of my weekly political talk show called the Headley Highlight Show, where I talk about all issues relating to politics and what I think about it, and also about the royals. I was aiming for 500 subscribers a week ago, or even 2 weeks ago, and then I thought I'd go for 1,000. And I've already got, can you believe it, 809 people listen to this podcast or subscribed. That in itself is amazing and it's a blessing. So thank you so much. I'm aiming to get to 1,000. And after that, 2,000. Please like, share and comment. And also you can go to my website, which is called denisehedley.com, and you can make a donation for this unique and authentic content. If you hit the subscribe button, I will be delivered directly into your For You page or your DMs. How marvelous is that, darling? Right, let's jump into the show, shall we, darlings? Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, launches online shop for fashion staples. The Duchess of Sussex has launched a digital shop where fans can purchase her hand-picked clothing, accessories, jewellery and recommendations. The collection includes 32 neutral tone staples from brands like Theory, J. Crew, Reformation and also an Inquilo trench coat, which is I think £99, and St. Laurent sandals. And the thing about this is that the Duchess has created affiliate links. So some of the products that she sells she will get a commission for that. And I think this is really, really an important step for her, launching this online shop, because last week when we were talking about media interest value, we said that her media interest value was £10 million. So now what you can actually see is how that's going to translate into tangible profit for the couple. It's basically an evolution of the TIG, but to the power of 65 times infinity. And you know what annoyed me as well this week? She shared a picture on her Instagram about her new line and what she's going to be doing, and it had a picture of Archie and Lilybeth, and the way Archie was grabbing her leg was actually so lovely. But people were then saying how she's using her children to profit and promote her brand. Excuse me, those are her children. If she wants to put them in a picture relating to her business, that's down to her. Just because you cannot use her, you cannot use her images, you cannot profit off the children's faces, why are you running your mouth on it? No, basically, no. So
Just rest your beak.
Right! My other story this week about the Duchess. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, releases the podcast trailer for Confessions of a Female Founder, once again rinsing out the MIV, because she's got what they call the Midas touch. Everything she touched turns to gold. Anyway, yeah, I've got a nice little singing voice. I need to join a choir. Anyway, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, releases her podcast trailer for Confessions of a Female Founder. Meghan has unveiled the trailer for her upcoming podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, and it's launching on the 8th of April from Lemonedia Media. The show is described in the trailer as a place where women and female entrepreneurs and friends can talk about the challenges of building, listen to what it says, billion-dollar ideas, people. My girl's not going lowbrow looking millions, she's looking billions, okay? And you know what that means? That means she has her eye on a higher prize. So all power to her. The podcast will complement as ever the brand, because don't forget, she's launched her These Are My Favorites on her Instagram feed, because she said, look, you know, these are things that I like, have a look and see if you like them too. She didn't say you have to buy it, but the fact is it was presented so nicely. She has that Midas touch. People are interested in what she's interested in. I guarantee you that place, that thing's probably already crashed and everything's already sold out. And the podcast to me is just another evolution of, you know, expanding your reach. How many young female founders do you even know? I know several. What they're seeing is a black woman setting trends on a global level with billion-dollar ideas. More power to you, Meghan. And everyone you inspire. Right. Also in the Headley highlight show's Royal Corner, King Charles and side salad turned Queen Camilla's visit to the Pontiff in the Vatican postponed, as he appears very close to the right hand of God. And that milk and honey place I think he longs for. King Charles and the side chick Camilla will not be able to continue their trip to Italy this month because the Pontiff is unwell. He contracted pneumonia, which progressed to the point that doctors considered suspending treatment. In a statement, it read, medical advice has now suggested that Pope Francis would benefit from an extended period of rest and recuperation, leaving the royal tour in jeopardy. Right. King Charles's Highgrove perfume scent launches second edition. Now, this is interesting. I don't know if you've noticed this week. The fact that Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has launched her new website with all of her recommendations for clothes and fashion staples, suddenly we're having lots of articles about the royal family's fashion sense, their sense of style, and their products that they promote. And this is an article in that vein. King Charles III is collaborating with Penhaligon, a royal perfumer since 1903, we are so reassured, to release his second fragrance, inspired by the Highgrove Gardens. The scent follows a success of Highgrove Bouquet, which was designed to capture the aromas of his summer garden, particularly the lime blossom trees lining the driveway. The new fragrance will debut this summer, continuing his commitment to eco-friendly, sustainable luxury. Oh, please, what a load of air. When did they have any perfumes or any products? All of a sudden, there's a picture of the king standing behind this large piece of foliage, leaning forward, not wearing a tie, and trying to look alluring. I mean, who wants to spray the king on their neck? Do you wish to spray the king in your intimate parts? I don't think so. That would probably cause a rash and requiring a visit to potentially the gum clinic. Not the chemist, the gum clinic. The point is, it's so full of fashion. Where's the MIV value for the Highgrove scent? Nobody cares what the king wears around on his neck as a scent. No one cares about that. And nobody wants to smell like the royals either. Who wants to smell like that? God, man. These people have got no advisors. People need to just do something. They need some advisors, okay? Nobody wants to smell like Highgrove. Nobody wants to smell like the king. Nobody wants to smell like the side chick Camilla. No one's interested in what they're wearing, how they smell, or what they're doing. Okay? Stop ranting, Dee. Let's go to the next story. Just before I jump onto the other royals, okay, did you know that King Charles bought a £3 million house next to Camilla's private Wiltshire house? No, you didn't, did you? That's what our good taxpayers' money and a sovereign grant went on. He bought the house next door to her so that it couldn't be used as a wedding venue. So when she needs to escape, she doesn't see any of the commoners, the little people, the common folk. Yeah, he bought the house next door, £3 million. What a great way to spend public money, especially when you're cutting benefits for everyone. PIP, you're putting up national insurance and you're just living there, nose in the trough. Anyway, yeah, so that's it. King Charles buys £3 million house next to Camilla's private Wiltshire house, reported. King Charles has forked out £3 million on a new property near Camilla's private estate, according to reports. His Majesty bought the neighbouring property along the River Avon, called the Neighbouring Bridge. The abode dates from whatever, we don't really care about that. But basically, it was going to be turned into a wedding venue, and she didn't want any riffraff when she looked out the window. Get off my property! This is private land, you know! Edgar, release the hounds! The commoners have broken through! Right! Also, on the Headley highlight shows, Royal Corner, Prince William sends a strong message from a tank near the Russian border in Estonia. And this story is about rebranding the future king as something functional and useful for the nation. Prince William made a bold statement during his visit to Estonia. Don't forget, he's on an overseas visit, and the future queen, the one I refer to as indolent Kate, lazy Kate, don't want to do no work Kate, work shy Kate, that one there, she's not there. He joined British troops stationed near the Russian border. The Prince of Wales donned a camouflage uniform, he put on some fatigues, and he sat in a tank. He rode in a Challenger 2 with other armoured vehicles at the Tepa military base. Now, if you've been following what he's been doing the last couple of weeks, okay, he's been making tea cakes in Wales, then he went over and went to the Midlands and was blowing whistles and clapping their hands with the little people, the commoner folk, them. Then he was being touted as a statesperson, and now he's meeting troops. He's being politicised, number one. And number two, what function and role are you going to play in any military operation? Okay, your brother's got more time on the ground than you anyway. So I'm not quite sure what role you would be playing, apart from taking pictures and wandering around trying to look useful. Trying to justify why we pay so much money for you to do absolutely nil point, nothing, nada. That's what this story's about. And look at this now. This is from the BBC. He went during his visit, he was talking to French and Estonian troops. But hear this now. He also addressed concerns about mental health in the armed forces, emphasizing the importance of reducing stigma around psychological well-being. Isn't that what your brother's been doing with Invictus Games? Bringing people to a place where they can feel, supported and feel more purposeful in life. And suddenly you're interested in it. It's another example of, look at me, I'm important, just like Harry. No, you're not. Okay, just get used to it. People prefer him to you. It's just that simple. They prefer him and his wife to you and your wife. Accept it and move on. And now we got Prince William sending birthday messages to anybody who's got a birthday, anybody who's dead, or anyone who's famous. First it was Major Tom, then it was Gene Hackman, and now it's Mary Berry. Who's next? Appearing on The One Show to celebrate her 90th birthday, Mary Berry is a very famous cook. He suddenly pops up on a video and says, I want to wish you a happy 90th birthday. Why didn't you wish her a happy 89 birthdays prior to that particular birthday? She had several. You could have said happy birthday then, but you didn't. All of a sudden, you're interested in Mary Berry's birthday. It's relevance washing. Relevance washing. You shouldn't have to try so hard with all of these puff stories. If you was relevant, there wouldn't be any need for you to hop onto any and everything. Then we have Kate Middleton's signature style is inspired by the late Queen. And I think the author of this article is going to get sycophant of the week. There's just so many of these sycophants. It would be remiss of me not to highlight just one or two each week. I see it as a public service. So in view of this new role that I have ordained upon myself, which is to provide a public service by identifying sycophants of the royals who write sycophantic and putrefying, boring stories about them, this week it goes to Clara Steen. Clara Steen's headline is entitled, "Kate Middleton's go-to style trick comes straight from the Queen." The first line of this article is that Kate Middleton is back in the spotlight. For who? For nobody. Okay? Once again, a puff line to create relevance. She's not in the spotlight. You might be shining it on her, but nobody's interested in the view. Kate Middleton is back in the spotlight, which means fans are swooning, no they're not, over the royals' chic fashion pics, like this glorious red dress. And you know what they're making reference to? That coat dress that she looked like Darth Vader in. She looked like she had them Darth Vader shoulders, okay? And that halo thing over her head and that big bow. I'm sorry, that bow was ridiculous, okay? That bow was so big. She was lost in that bow. And you're telling me that's the coat dress. Is there a wait list for that? What's the MIV value for her and her line of style products? Is anyone interested in what she's recommended on Instagram? Hang on. Is that the crickets I'm hearing? Right, I thought so. Compose yourself, woman. Okay. Kate Middleton is back in the spotlight, which means fans are swooning over the royal chic fashion pics, like this glorious red dress, and surprisingly beauty looks like her brand new hairstyle. Last week alone, the Princess of Wales attended 3 different events. My God, she was so busy, turning heads at each and every one. In and out. Oh, once again, Dee. And release. Okay. Amidst the glamour, there was a signature style move. The move consistently relies on her wearing a single striking colour. So this is the content of this article. This article is saying to you that, like the previous queen, she wears single colours. So she has a red hairband, a massive red bow, a massive Darth Vader outfit. And then similar red shoes. And she stands there like a beacon, so you can never miss her. And they're saying that was from the Queen. And she's following in the footsteps of that. I'm so glad that you're doing that, Kate. It makes me feel great. I really know that the money I'm spending in the sovereign grant is helping you to achieve this particular good outcome for the public, so you're never missed. Whether Kate is stepping out in a dark green ensemble or pairing a gorgeous teal dress with matching accessories, Kate's monochrome looks, mono meaning singular as in absolutely boring, are more than just a fashion statement. They're a strategic nod to the Queen's famous philosophy, I have to be seen to be believed. Now, that would really ring true if it meant she had to be seen to be believed to do any work, to actually serve. I mean, okay, she's a mum. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that is a job in itself. But outside of that, okay, she's not really doing any functional activities that people would associate the salary she gets with it. Okay, so we would love to be able to see her doing something other than just glowing and in dresses. Maybe, do something, don't just squeeze the tea cakes. Maybe think about going to the mill, grinding it, working with the farmers, do something, get yourself involved. You know what I'm saying, Kate? Put your back into it, love. And this article by Clara Steen writes glowingly of absolutely nothing, is talking about absolutely nothing, her dressed in a single colour, and she's written a whole article about it, and that gives her this week's prize of Sycophant of the Week. To Clara! I thought I'd bring the mixed board in. And finally, in this week's Royal Corner, Prince Harry reportedly in talks for a Princess Diana documentary. Now, this is gossip, and I got it off on Yahoo News. Reports suggest that Prince Harry is in discussion to produce a documentary about his late mother, Princess Diana, for Netflix. The potential project could mark the 30th anniversary of Diana's passing and would reportedly see Harry take on the role of co-executive producer, host and narrator. Now, this is related to a source and we know what sources are like, okay? But I did countenance for just a few minutes what it would mean if he did a documentary piece like this. Can you imagine if that type of program was even made and he narrated it? He's an executive producer and also the host and the narrator. Well, it's apparently, if it does happen, it's going to happen in 2027 on the 30th anniversary of his mother's death. So my view is, look, let's just see what happens. So in summary, in the Headley highlight shows Royal Corner this week, Duchess of Sussex launches her online shop for fashion staples. The Duchess of Sussex releases her new podcast trailer, Confessions of a Female Founder. King and side chick turned Queen Camilla are not going to see the pontiff because he is reaching the right hand of God. King Charles's High Groove perfume scent launches its second edition. Nobody wanted to buy the first one. King Charles also buys the house next door to his now turned wife, side chick Camilla turned queen. Yeah, so that she doesn't have any riffraff, no little people, none of the commoners on the land. Prince William sends a strong statement from a tank near Russia for no apparent reason, and nobody really was bothered about it anyway. He's also in the habit of sending anyone with a birthday or a death a message so that he can ride on it and look relevant and current. He sent a message to Mary Berry, who is 90, but he never sent one for the previous 89 that she had just now. Kate's go-to style hat comes straight from the Queen. This is the idea of being seen to be believed, so she wears a single colour. And my view is, look, why don't you actually do something of worth outside of being talked about for what you wear? I mean, that dress, you look like Darth Vader in that dress. No. And the Queen never looked at that. I mean, I was never a fan of the Queen, but, she used to look nice, unlike yourself. And there's also a rumour that Harry might be considering making a documentary about his mum for the 30th anniversary. Now, that would be really, really interesting. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Royal Corner. Please do like and share and comment. Also, can you jump over to my website and buy me chicken chips and a Miranda drink, or you can buy me a coffee, or you can buy me rice and peas at my local Caribbean restaurant, and that would be fabulous. And jump in next week. Look forward to seeing you. Oh, don't forget, you can jump onto my show on X every Friday at 8 p.m. if you want to hear this live. Thank you for listening and have a great week, and cut!